Wow, I can't start the video right there because of the sun. Let me sneak back in here. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This week's video is gonna be a fun one. Today, we're finally gonna be testing out the two different motors that I've got from Newport Vessels. I've got the NK300 and I've got the new NK180Pro, and we're gonna be doing a speed test. As you can see, I've got both of the kayaks on the double trailer. We're loaded up this morning and ready to go. And I'm trying to make it as fair as possible. One kayak is extremely heavy, a lot bigger, and the other kayak is the new Bonafide Power, and it's extremely light. It hasn't been rigged out yet. There's nothing on it besides the motor that we're gonna be adding today, and it should be a pretty good fair comparison. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So most of y'all already know my green machine here. This is my 2021 Hobie Pro Angler 14. We've got the motor guide on the front. Now I was gonna take that off for this test, but to keep it fair, because I'm wanting to do a fully rigged Hobie Pro Angler with the 300 versus a lightweight Bonafide. So I'm gonna keep it on because this is normally how I would fish it. So I'm leaving all of the electronics on, I'm leaving the motor guide up front, and we're gonna have the 300 on the back of this. I've got the Yakattack Blackpacks back here. I've even got my new Dewalt Tstak, or I think that's what they call this thing. Check that out. You can add on to the top of your Blackpack now, which is really cool because the bottom of mine was just for my batteries. I've got my Newport for the 300 and a Power Queen for my front trolling motor. But now I've got an extra storage box on the top. That's pretty cool. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. This is gonna run the NK300, this big bad boy right here. And as you can see, there's definitely a difference in these motors. This is the new 180 Pro, super lightweight, but the numbers on this say that with that lighter Bonafide, I should be getting the same speed and distance out of this motor versus this big bad boy right here. This is my 300. That is gonna go on the back of the Hobie. Now for the 180 Pro, if you've been following along, we just picked up this Bonafide. This is a brand new PWR 129, zero modifications to it so far. The only thing that we've added is the motor that we're gonna be testing today. Haven't even ran the wires or anything like that. Everything is gonna be quick detach. And if you follow the video, you know I'm doing that on purpose so that I can take everything off and throw it on back of the truck. I've even got the throttle just in a quick cell phone holder here so that I can take that off and throw it in the back seat of the truck and then rooftop the kayak if I need to. But today we're gonna be trailering them. I've got the double trailer out. I'm taking my wife with me. So the plan is I'm gonna put her on the lightweight Bonafide because she's super small and I'm much bigger than she is. So I'm gonna get on this. This is just my normal kayak. I'm gonna fish, you know, we're gonna run it just like it would be normal, and we're gonna do a speed test. I'm gonna, hopefully once we get out on the water, I can have enough service to do a GPS speed test on this one with a screen recording for you guys. And then I'm gonna let her do the same thing with the same app on the Bonafide. And then we're gonna get side by side and we're just gonna race down the river. I'm gonna try to bring a drone with me if I can. If the weather cooperates, I'll get a drone in the air so we can get some cool shots today. And it should be fun. Now we'll be filming today with the phone and some action cameras, so the quality and the audio might not be as good as my normal videos, so y'all just bear with me. But I'm hoping to get some good numbers out of this to do a test to see if it's worth it to just get the new 180 Pro over the 300 for some of you guys. A lot of you guys have been asking me ever since I picked up that 180 Pro, should you get the 300? And then you let me know which kayak you had. And today we're gonna find out. If you've got a lighter weight kayak and you're not running a big old, you know, battleship of a kayak like I run, it might be better for you to go with the 180 Pro. But either or, if you decide you want one of these motors today, I do have an affiliate link that is gonna be linked below this video with promo codes for you guys to save money. So whether you wanna go with the 180 Pro or if you wanna try out the big 300, I love the 300. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to push people towards the 180 Pro, but today, I mean, if you have a lighter kayak and it's gonna be just as fast with the 180 Pro, why wouldn't you get the 180 Pro? You see, that's the reason I'm trying to make this video for you guys today. But anyway, I'm gonna quit talking. If you wanna get you one of these motors, use the promo code below. It'll save you some money at checkout and you get you one of these kayak motors. Let's get to the water and test these bad boys out. All right, guys, we made it to the Coosa River. We're at one of my favorite places to put the boat in. It's a little bitty lot down here it's called Lakeshore Landing in Ohatchee, Alabama. and we're gonna do the test. I got the 180 Pro and I've got the 300 here. We're gonna go ahead and get them put in. I didn't bring any fishing poles. Today's video is gonna be strictly for speed test. We're gonna do a race. We're finally gonna get around. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting to see the race between the Hobie and the Bonafide. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna throw these motors on really quick. We're gonna stick them in the water. All right, you ready? I think so. If you want to pull that green cord to on your left side, unhook it from where I got it, and you can go ahead and drop the motor in the water.
Right there?
Yep. And the way you steer, you're going to steer with your feet. Are they too far out for you?
I don't know yet.
All right, I think I've got it shortened up for you now. So now you can steer it. There you go. Steering does kind of suck in this boat, don't it?
It's a little bit different than what I'm used to. But, I mean, it's going to function.
All right, so now you're going to throttle up.
On this?
Yeah, just barely throttle forward. You got a screen there that tells you the percentage. There you go, so you're at 7% now. And you're going to turn with your left foot so you can turn the motor. Turn the boat. Just keep it low and go out in the main.
It's not turning though.
It'll turn. It'll
sure
turn.
About that?
Yeah, right now you need to turn there you go, completely left.
Wait, I don't know what happened.
All right, guys, we are on the water. I had to teach her how to use it a little bit. She went all the way to reverse really fast. I don't know if you caught it or not, but it slings the motor up when you do that. But I've got her behind me. I'm on 7% on this NK300. What percent are you on?
Jumping between 19 and 20.
You're at 20%, and I'm slowly pulling past you. Which this test might be a lot different than I thought. I thought that NK180Pro was really gonna push you, but we've got really nice flat water out here on the lake. We're gonna get out here where it's flat. I think the first test we're gonna do is, I know you guys wanna see it, we're gonna do the speed test. I got a busted lip right there, it's killing me. But we're gonna come out here and do a speed test and just right out of the gate, see how fast we can go, or not a speed test, we're gonna race each other. And then I've got some GPS apps on our phones. We're gonna see how fast her top speed is on this nice calm day. Look at this, no boats, no jet skis. It's actually early in the morning on Thursday, so hopefully most people is at work. And we've got a nice flat lake to work with. Got her behind me. Are you still at 20%? All right, bump it on up and come out here with me and see what it takes. I'm trying to conserve her battery and my battery enough so that we can do accurate tests. As you can see, my NK300, I am at 7%. And I'm not sure how fast I'm going. I don't have my graph on the boat. My mount broke on the way here, so I gotta fix that. But I'm at 7% and she can't catch me. Here she comes. There she goes. Was that wide open?
Yeah, for a second it was. I turned it down.
All right, let's get out here and do a little race. All right, here we are, test one. It took us a minute to get together because the Bonafide does not want to steer. Now I do have it set up, if you watched the last video, I've got it set up so the rudder is the only thing that turns. I've got the motor locked in a forward position, but the steering on the boat is still really crappy. It's not, I'm not happy with it. I've contacted a few people to see if I can get the setup that Greg Blanchard has. I reached out to the Wizard last week. Hopefully you're gonna see a real steering improvement on this boat in the next couple of videos maybe. If I can get a hold of his stuff, we're gonna get it installed on this boat and then we'll really be able to turn it. I've got the Tim Percy set up in this one. Everything turns on this boat by a knob and it turns on a dime. And after us just cruising out here, my mind might have changed. I think this 300 might just smoke that 180 Pro no matter how light that Bonafide is, because I was on 7% and this thing moves on this Hobie. She was on like 20% and she couldn't even keep up with me. But we're gonna give it a fair test. She's gonna pull up beside me. We got a long straightaway right here in front of us and we're just gonna go for it. As long as she can hold it straight and I can hold this one straight, we're gonna go and just see who comes out on top. Give it 100% on yours.
Beat the crap out of me.
I'm gonna give it 100%. Oh my goodness, she done took off. I give her a head start a little bit. She's staying beside me, kinda. I think I'm pulling away. I'm pulling away. I'm definitely pulling away. This NK300 is so fast on this pro angler. You gotta turn it. I mean, look at the weight this thing puts off behind the boat. She's staying kind of right in there. I mean, I'm not completely outrunning her. I mean, I'm ahead of her. I'm slowly pulling away now. But she's kind of staying right in there. All right, I'm gonna back it down. That was 100%. I'm gonna go back to 0.
Takeoff. Home point updated.
All right, guys, so I've got the drone in the air. Now we're gonna do the speed test. I'm gonna start with a Bonafide. I'm gonna follow her with the drone, and I'm gonna throw on the screen right now the actual GPS speed. She's screen recording her GPS on the phone. I'm gonna put that on the screen right now. I'm gonna chase her with the drone and see what the top speed with her in this really light Bonafide is with the NK180 Pro. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, go for it. So she was able to get a top speed of 5 miles an hour out of the NK180 Pro, and that is on a brand new Bonafide with no mods. There's nothing extra on there. So now I've got the screen recording going with the same GPS app on my Pro Angler with the NK300. Fresh battery, both of these were fresh batteries. Let's see what the top speed I can get out of this fully rigged Hobie Pro Angler 14. We're gonna go full throttle. All right, we're running a steady 6 miles an hour right now on a straightaway. I'm gonna turn and head back the other way. I am noticing it does drop pretty quick whenever you turn. So let me turn this around. There's 7 miles an hour right there. It is really hard to turn this Hobie with this NK300 at full throttle, but it does it. All right, let's see how fast we can get her. We're going back against it. I've got both phones in my hand. We're still running 6 miles an hour. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. I should have it on screen for you though. 6 miles an hour, running back into our wake. We hit 7 at one point. It didn't stay there long, but we did hit 7. All right, so she got between, you said it was bouncing between 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Mine was bouncing between 6 and 7. So there's a good mile an hour difference between the Bonafide, which weighs half or maybe even less than what this Hobie weighs, and the NK300 versus the NK180Pro. So there you go. I will say the jump on this NK300 is huge. Like if I hit full throttle, we just take off. Look at that. She's gonna see how fast hers just kind of jumps the gun. There's wide open. It picks up good. Really good. I could probably lower that motor about an inch into the water, because it looks like it is just a bit high. I can hear it grabbing air whenever she hits waves.
That's as tight as a circle it'll go.
Yeah, the steering is the reason for that. But it moves. All right, so we've morphed back to the shop because I wanted to end the video here so I could give you kind of a recap and my personal opinion on which motor you should go with if your decision is between the new NK180Pro or the NK300. The NK180Pro, as you've seen, it was much lighter, and after both kayaks topped out in speed, it was only about 1 mile an hour slower, but we were also pushing a very lightweight, unrigged kayak. But it was still 1 mile an hour slower than our heavy Hobie Pro Angler 14 with the NK300. Now, that being said, the takeoff speed for the NK300 was like a rocket. This thing gets up to top speed instantly, and it holds it pretty good. Now, neither one of these kayak motors you want to just run at 100% throttle, no matter if you get the small one or the big one. You don't want to just run wide open everywhere, because you will drain your battery very fast like that. I don't care what size battery you got. If you run these at 100% everywhere you go, the battery won't last long. You just need to get up to a good speed, and then you can back off. And I found out that using this 300 on the Hobie, once I get to top speed, I can usually pull back down to about halfway throttle or even less, and it will maintain that top speed without being at 100% throttle, and it saves me a lot of battery. I can fish a full weekend, you know, Saturday and Sunday on one charge on my battery with this NK300, as long as I'm not goosing it. Like, if I would have kept doing what I did today, just wide open all the time, it wouldn't have lasted very long. So that being said, if you've got a heavy kayak, you want to spend the extra money, I think there's about a $200 difference when choosing these two. Another thing that you need to keep in mind though is this is a 24 volt system versus a 36 volt system. And when you're thinking about that, think about the future. If you plan on getting another motor in the future, this 24 volt, and you've already got the battery, and that's what I love about these Newport Vessels motors is you can run them, you don't have to buy their battery. This is not a specific style. These are Anderson plugs. The cable's hooked to a regular style battery as long as you have the correct voltage. So you can get a couple of 12 volts, wire them together to make 24 volts, and then you can run this motor, or it would take 3 batteries to do this. But what I'm trying to say is if you think about it in the future, think ahead. If you plan on getting another motor that would use the same battery, it would benefit you a lot. So if you're planning on jumping from a 300 to a 180 Pro or a 180 Pro to a 300, just remember that's a different battery setup, and you'd have to go, you know, if you've already got the 180 Pro or the 180 and you're trying to decide if you want to go on up to the 300, just remember that extra cost. You're going to have to buy that 36 volt battery or 3 12 volt batteries or whatever. But like me, I've got a kind of a upcoming motor video that I'm going to be doing with you guys. If you're still watching, check this bad boy out. Now, this is not the video that I'm going to be debuting this, but I did want to show you this while we were talking about batteries, because this motor is the Newport Vessels NT300, and it's also a 36 volt battery, which means I'll be able to run my same battery from my kayak on my John boat. I didn't have to buy an extra battery for this. I'll be able to use the same one, and I can't wait to test this motor out. This thing is gonna be wicked on the back of that really lightweight John boat that we're fixing to build. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you go check it out. I just debuted it. We haven't started the build yet. I'm still gathering supplies and stuff for that. So, but I'll be able to use the same battery from my Hobie and just swap it over to the John boat when I'm ready to go. But anyway, that's enough talking. I hope you guys got something out of this video. These motors are the best on the market. If you're looking for a kayak motor, just go to Newport Vessels. I mean, they've got what you're looking for. They're the best there is. I've used them all. I'm really happy with these motors. If my mind changes in the future, I'll let you know. But so far, I've been running this 300 for a little less than a year now. No issues with it. I still love it. Still my favorite part of my kayak. And they're awesome. So links are below. Promo codes are below. Go get you one. Let me know if you got one or if you plan to get one in the comments. And I will catch you guys next Monday at 6 o'clock. Peace.